everyone. We are now live. I'm so excited about being back. We are also live on Facebook. So hi to everybody out there. Like us and follow us. We will share the show later on. I'm going to go in right with my next guest. I have with me Siobhan Hawkins, and she is a licensed associate counselor with Kona Counseling. Welcome to the show. I want you to tell everybody, now I have to say this, you were going to come on with another business, and today you wanted to talk a little bit about this as something special that you do. I want you to tell everybody a little bit about yourself and what you do. Go ahead.
Well, thank you, and thank you for having me. Hello, everyone. My name is Siobhan, and I am a licensed associate counselor. And what that means is that I am a counselor under supervision, and that's because I'm meeting criteria from the Arizona Board of Behavioral Health Examiners.
Wow. So that means that you're watched very carefully.
Yes.
And that means that you have to do your job very well.
I do.
Okay. So I want you to talk a little bit about that.
Well, I work at Kona Counseling, which is an awesome place to work. Hello, everybody at Kona. I treat people who have anxiety, depression, PTSD, even religious trauma, couples counseling. I do basically all that I can. I focus with cognitive behavioral therapy to help people get over the rough spots in their life.
So I want to talk about this because when I called Kona Counseling, I want to ask you, how would they, because I didn't know how to exactly, let's say they want to reach you, they like the sound of your voice, and they resonate with you. Can they call there and say, I heard Siobhan Hawkins on the Networking Arizona show, and I'd like to talk to see if I can work with her. How do they get about going to work with you?
Oh, it's really easy. You can go to the website, konaaz.com, or you can call the number that we have listed. And if that's not enough, you can go to Psychology Today. My profile is there with Kona Counseling, and you can get a 15-minute free consultation to see if services would work for you.
Now, the website is konaaz.com. Their phone number is 480-581-5900. They do a free 15-minute consultation, and they work statewide. So I want to talk a little bit about this. You talk about people with anxiety, depression. You also mentioned religious issues. I want to talk what that means.
Okay, well,
I'm going to go right different than you so that you don't get so nervous, okay?
Okay, thank you. Well, I have had people reach out to me about religious trauma from different organizations that they've been in or grew up in, and they struggle with their beliefs. They struggle with the traumatic experiences that they have had there. So I help them process it. And I do that through cognitive behavioral therapy, which means looking at your thoughts, your emotions, and your behaviors and how they're connected to the trauma that you've experienced.
So that could be for anybody who has gone through any kind of trauma. Is that correct?
Yes.
Wow. And so there's a lot of people who have had that. What do you do, any age group?
Any age group. I have teenagers that I serve, and I have adults and seniors. We do not service vets yet, but I have worked with veterans coming back from deployment, and so they've had a lot of traumatic experiences.
Absolutely. But teenagers too. I mean, it's really sad today. Our young folk, right? They have been dealt with a lot of trauma, and what about somebody who's just bullied them at school or something like that? That's trauma in itself.
It really is, and it's really important to notice signs in your teenagers. If you see them withdrawing, if you see them not wanting to speak, not wanting to get involved in activities, what I call hold up in their room where they just isolate, you really want to reach out and have a conversation with them, and take it from a non-judgmental type, where you can let them know that you're there for them and you want to help them and go on the journey with them.
I think that's awesome, and I love the advice. That phone number, and I say put this in your phone. This is what I think. there's a lot of people out there that, we don't even know, whether it's you or someone that you know that might be dealing with something and you just gave them some advice, something to look at that they might, yeah, wow, that's pretty interesting. Maybe it comes up, maybe it's not today, maybe it happens a month from now or what have you. Put the phone number in your phone. The phone number is 480-581-5900. The website is KonaAZ.com. You can get a free consultation. It's 15 minutes, and they can also go to Psychology Today and also find you on there as well, and they can look at your profile and find out a little bit about you there.
Yes.
Okay. Now, I wanted to talk about something that you have there, that anxiety, depression, and trauma, they coexist, right? How do you help people with that? Because they all go together, and it makes somebody even worse, right?
Mm-hmm. That's true. And sometimes they can also mimic each other. So it's important to start working on getting their symptoms down, which is using somatic exercises, which is good for the nervous system. And then start working on depression, start working on the different parts of it. But you want to calm their systems down.
And how do they do that? I mean, that's hard to do, especially with a teenager who says, I'm not calming down if you pay me.
Well, there's all kind of techniques. There's deep breathing, relaxation techniques, journaling, there's drawing, different things to distract the mind from the thought process.
Now, this is interesting too. There's misconceptions about trauma and trauma therapy. You want to discuss some of those?
Well, one of the big misconceptions that they have is that you have to have a catastrophic event. And that's not always the truth. If that's the case, we have the pandemic, which was catastrophic. But there's other things, and it really depends on your resiliency as well. So if there is some way that you're feeling traumatic, then that's what you would seek out help for.
Everybody's different, right? And everybody's going to react to something differently. I know there's some people out there when something traumatic that might have happened to me, let's say my ex-husband, what are you worried about that for, right? But for me, it was pretty big. And it might have even happened 30 years ago, right?
And so it's important to talk it out. If you talk it out, you can release it.
How has technology changed the landscape for where you're at?
Well, with telehealth, you have to be in the state of Arizona if you are counseling with an Arizona counselor. But technology is such that even with 911, if there's some emergency, we're able to connect with 911 and they can find you. But one of the biggest things is technology can also stigmatize someone if they tell them I'm doing telehealth.
Well, I'll tell you what, folks, maybe it's you. Maybe it's someone that you know. We all know somebody who's going through something, especially in today's world. I'll tell you what, it's wonderful that we have people like you out there that are there to serve. You said you're there to serve your clients. The phone number to call, it's 480-581-5900. You can check them out on the website, which is KonaAZ.com. She works statewide, and you can get a free consultation. It's a 15-minute consultation. Find out how they can help. And there's a lot of people out there that are reaching out for help, especially our teenagers. They're crying out for help. Look for some of the signs that she had mentioned. Again, you could call them again. It's 480-581-5900. It's KonaAZ.com.